Okay, so I had this conversation yesterday with someone, and I think it's really important that we have conversations that are sometimes difficult to have because if people didn't have difficult conversations with me, then I wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation with you. So I've come to the realization through reading a lot of great stuff, like the Bible and other Christian publications, that I am who I am. I am enough. I'm part of God's plan. I'm beautifully and wonderfully made. I know now that there was a reason for my darkness, so I could actually see the great light. I know that my past is painful, but it is part of my testimony of God's great strength and love and victory in all things. I know that shame and guilt and regret and what ifs are something that are not part of my everyday life anymore. And for that, I'm forever thankful. I've replaced those with like peace, joy, happiness, contentment, but not too content because we need to keep being uncomfortable. That's something new I needed to know about. Uncomfortability means we're growing. The pressing and the churning and the stirring and the chiseling is necessary for us to become closer to Christ, peeling away the layers of the onion, so to speak, getting to the painful past that made me who I am today. But here's something else that I learned: everybody has a story. And the person that you meet in the grocery store that is not so nice to you, or the stepmother of your children, or an ex husband, or just somebody that you don't get along with, or someone who sees you the way they want to see you. It's not my problem. All I know is that I'm supposed to love people right where they are, understand that they are dealing with a lot on their plate, and some of their plates are overflowing onto other people. And today, I want to sit down and serve what's on my plate to those people to maybe lessen their load of what's on their plate. That's not good stuff. They think it's good stuff, but it's not good stuff. And it gets them through each day, but it doesn't bring joy and happiness to just eat of the delicious foods on their plate because they think the food on their plate is delicious because it's what they're used to, but it's not the really good stuff. It's the bad stuff. It's the ways of the world. It's what other people think. It's what maybe they picked up along the way from childhood. It's conforming to others' expectations. It's feeling let down. It's all of the icky, messy stuff that gets picked up from the minute we come into the world. Like what makes other people happy, what makes other people sad, and then we start to adjust our personalities to make other people feel happy or to make them not get angry at you. So we kind of put on a show. I think that's why I got a lot of masks. And I burned those because today I want to be authentic. I want to be true. I want to be genuine. I want to be the original masterpiece that God created me to be. So I'm not going to let my past define me as a person, but I am going to use my past as a tool to testify how amazing God is. Because even when I was a little girl and I felt alone and in the darkness, and there was a lot of chaos going on around me in my innocence and my youth, I never lost hope. I'd pray in my closet. I'd go to school. My school was a Catholic school, so there was a church in it. There were crucifixes on the walls of every room. Bibles were everywhere. Um, Even though I didn't understand half of what was being said, I knew that I felt safe and I felt cared about and I felt so much kindness permeating through the walls, so much so that I went back to work there because it was my safe place. Um, but when I was out of my safe place, I felt guarded. I felt like I was putting up barriers. I was being standoffish. I was trying to be somebody that I wasn't meant to be. I was conforming to the ways of the world, what the world wanted Laura to be, what my dad wanted me to be, what my grandma wanted me to be, what my peers wanted me to be. And here's the thing, all the while, I was friends with everyone. Like, I would talk to everyone in my class, from freshmen to seniors to everyone in between. I was friends with the school counselor. I was friends with the principal. I'd literally go in and sit in his office and put my feet on his desk and just shoot the breeze with him. And I felt really close to him. He was like the father that I wish I had. Loving, patient, gentle, understanding, not condemning, nothing conditional about him at all. So I kept myself really, really, really busy. When I wasn't at work, lifeguarding, babysitting, working at Papa John's, waitressing. I was cheerleading, soccer, tennis, swimming, track, spirit club, junior council, world affairs. I mean, anything that I could raise my hand for and volunteer for, I was a part of it because it made me feel safe. It made me feel useful. It made me feel good, and nobody was telling me to do it. And it also got me out of the house, out of my unsafe place, or the place where I felt condemned and the love there was conditional and based on how high I could jump. So today I sit here and tell you, and I told someone else yesterday, that we cannot cast our burdens on other people. We can sit with them. We can listen to them. We can not choose to agree with what they have to say, but we can plant seeds in them about all the great and glorious things that God has done for us. And they too can change, but you can't change them. They have to want to change on their own. So, as much as the ex-husband, or I have two of those, or the stepmother isn't doing things the way you would do them, or saying things the way you would say them, or disciplining or caring for the kids the way you would want, you just have to know that they're not you. And they have all these things that they've picked up along the way ever since they were little, and things that the world has placed on them, how they may do things differently than how their parents did, or remembering things that worked when they were little, or getting advice from people that maybe thought that they should give advice and they've held on to that and stuck it in a pocket or whatever. And it may be temporarily working for them. And as much as we want to tell them that how's that working for you? It's almost like a lesson they have to learn on their own. I know for me, you could have told me all day long that I was wrong and that what I was doing was wrong, but I wasn't listening to you because I was determined that with my degrees, with my education and my experience as a child without a mom and blah, 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 wanting to be a super mom and wanting to use my degrees in children and early childhood education, that I knew exactly what needed to be done and how it was going to be done. And I put all this pressure on me and my kids and everyone around me that I'm telling you, this is the way to roll. This is the way it goes. And I know that I developed a lot of probably haters because of it. And most of all, I don't think anybody was happy, including me, unless it worked the way I wanted it to work. So when we start to put our ideas and our ideals onto other people and what we believe would work better in how they raise their kids, how they walk their dog, how they drive their car, how they work a recovery program. It's it's ridiculous to think that you're going to change them and they're going to listen to you. So today I found that the more I learn and the more I become teachable, the more I become present in the situations that I am placed in. And then instead of reacting, I can sit and ponder and respond in a new way. Not a defensive way, not a I told you so way, not a well, this is how it's done way. I can actually sit and go, well, I've been in a similar situation as you, and this is what I used to do, and this is how it used to work out for me, but now I've gotten these new tools. And turns out the tools I was using all along were the wrong ones, or they were broken, or I was using them for the wrong job. And I was trying to instill all those broken tools on other people, and it just wasn't working. So today, the tools I gather are from other people who are like-minded, who are uplifting, and those who are bold enough and brave enough to put themselves in my face and go, how's that working for you, Laura? And then I have to get out of my emotions, which is hard to do, and not develop a resentment against the person and go, it's not. And then before I make a decision on to what I say or how I react or respond, I have to ask myself, what purpose does this serve? What's your motive? And if no one is dying and nothing is on fire, then step away. Because as much as I want to change the way people act, behave, drive their car, walk their dog, it is not my place to step into their realm, their world. I can give a little backed by what God says and what the Bible says and what I know from past failures, and suggest trying it a different way. This is hard to do because I like to put my hands in so many things. I want to shake people because I don't want them to go down the same crooked path that I went to. But it was that crooked path that got me to where I am today. And today I am not where I'm supposed to be. I'm better than I was yesterday, but I have not yet arrived. So I'm on a journey. I still have my training wheels on, even though I want to take them off. The destination is not mine to be determined, which is a new concept for me. The GPS is on and I need to slow down because sometimes when the satellite is not connecting to the GPS, I tend to get ahead of it. And I need to be true to myself. If I am true and authentic to myself, then everything else will fall into place. And if I let God have control and it's His will and His way and not my way and my will, then I probably won't crash and burn today. So again, I read, I listen to praise and worship music, I attend recovery groups and meetings, I'm involved in organizations that are trying to revive our community and bring the love of Jesus to other people. And sometimes it's easier than other days, hence the because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. They'd be jumping on. Change is uncomfortable, but change is necessary. And I always hear that nothing changes if nothing changes. So today I'm willing to grow and change. And in that growth, I am making new discoveries about myself, about who this is. And yes, it is a selfish way of life and a selfish program. But for far too long, I have always been a people pleaser, a conformist, a little bit OCD, uh, slightly neurotic, and a control freak. And I realized that all of those things are something that I gathered along the way to get noticed, to get attention, to not get noticed and be drawn out of attention, to to not be to not feel alone, to not feel not accepted, to be a part of the crowd, to numb, to be dishonest with myself. And to be full of ego and pride at the end of the day. I was a big walking ball, flaming full of freaking arrows and combs to comb through you. I was angry. I was bitter. I was jealous. I was revengeful, even though I never physically revenged anybody. I definitely used my mouth a lot. But today I don't even have to put energy toward any of that. That's like giving my power away. Like, here, take my power. And it wasn't even good power. It was like just, I was basically throwing away the ability for someone to come back at me and hurt me more. Like, my character and my demeanor was trash. And I thought, the more I, put myself out there and the more that I conformed and the more that I like judged people and stuff, it basically just distanced myself from other people, the right people, and then put me in the crowd with the wrong people. And eventually it just left me alone and bitter and angry with a bunch of baggage that and everything in it like I couldn't even use. Like there was nothing in it. It was all just garbage. Like a bunch of freaking garbage. Like I didn't even know what to do with it. I couldn't recycle it. I couldn't like I'd put it out in the trash and it just ended up back in the house. But with the steps of a recovery program and a sponsor and church and God has revealed to me that I am nothing without him. I'm absolutely 100% nothing without him. My happiness comes from him. My joy comes with him, even with tears in my eyes. I pray for people now who are wicked and evil and pose a threat to me. Because chances are, if I feel like they're posing a threat to me, it's probably something wrong with me and not them. What? What? It's me? I'm the problem. Yes. Yes, Laura, you are the problem. That's crazy. But here, there is a solution to every problem. And I guarantee it that if you are willing to get off the cross, let Jesus have his place righteously on that cross, pick up a cross of your own, meet him in Calvary, realize what his salvation has done for us, redeemed, restored, renewed, shed light in dark places, use the darkness to bring great light, because we know that light always wins over darkness. Then you too can actually not say something bad about the person at Walmart. You can actually go into Walmart and find peace. But peace begins with Jesus, because Jesus is peace. And then peace will be with you, and it will flow out like a river. And remember, Jesus first loved you, so you must love others. It's so much easier said than done. You got to get out of bed every day and be grateful for another opportunity to serve the Lord and do what He has asked us to do. His ways, not mine. His will, not mine. And be true to it. Be honest, be humble, accept things, accept people right where they are. Love them right where they are. You can put up boundaries and guardrails, but don't build fences. No, 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 no. You need to make sure, if it's family, friends, a stranger on the street, or the man honking his horn at the light because you are too busy in praise and worship music to notice that the light has turned green, you just smile and wave and bless his heart, because chances are, if you develop anger, frustration, and anything of those ugly things that should stay in the garbage and have been tossed out a long time, you're going to be giving your power away and your joy will be stolen. Today, I don't want to chase happiness. I want joy in my heart and joy all around me, even when the storm is in the house, the storm is in my kids' lives, or whatever. I know that this storm will pass if I have the shield and the armor and the shepherd and the healer and the all in all in my life. Then I will know that this storm will pass, and it's just preparing me for the next one. And that may be an event that's happening or about to happen, or a person, or a place or situation, or a plan that I've tried to make, Trusting, which is hard to do for a lot of us, especially those of us who have experienced physical, emotional abuse. I used to play victim. Now I play victor, because God is the victor and He won the victory and the battle is won. I was really good at playing victim. I was called out on that in rehab. You like to play victim, don't you? I went, how dare you? I am a victim. No, I chose to play victim. I played it well. Had the mask, had the stories. You don't even know. You don't even know what she said and he did, and all left me like stole from me and said this about me. And if you only knew, I deserved the attention. I wanted people to see me as a victim. But today, transformation, metamorphosis. I am not a hungry caterpillar anymore. I have gotten into that cocoon and become goopy, having no idea what was going to happen to me when I came out. But let me tell you, the pulling out of the pupa, having no idea that your body has completely transformed and now you have the ability to fly after your wings have dried, and you can see the world from a whole different perspective, but still come back down and suck up the sweet honey and then go and pollinate and seed and help things grow as a butterfly. It's unreal. And I could tell you about my spiritual awakening I had on September 23rd of 2018, and there were a bunch of butterflies. It was like, girl, you need to go in and look at yourself in the mirror and get ready, because your life is about to change. You need to stop trudging along playing victim and stop drowning your sorrows in alcohol and pain pills. This is getting you nowhere except closer to the casket and farther away from me. And it's time to come home. It is time to come home. And I'm forever grateful for the Holy Spirit just like surrounding himself in that opportunity, just like presented himself. And there were so many things that went on during that spiritual experience for me. And on the days that I feel like, you know, this is a tough day, like I'm having a hard time with my teenager or something, I have to remember myself to play the rewind tape of the day that the Holy Spirit came into me and around me and surrounded me, and he was fighting my battles for me. He was absolutely 100% saying, girl, get up. Wash your face. This is not what I made you for. This is not what you were intended for. I have bigger and better plans for you if you would just trust me and let freaking go of the wheel. And that's all I can do today, is to help other women and people who are in recovery or people who are suffering the way that I suffered, is to offer that experience, that strength, and that hope that I have been graciously given by actually having my eyes open to reality. This is a dog eat dog world. We want to be the fastest, the smartest, the quickest, the wealthiest. We want to be the prettiest. We want to be the skinniest. We want to be the most gluten-free. We want to be the most sugar-free. We want to be the biggest. We just want it all. We want to be sugar-free, gluten-free, wheat-free, carb-free, fast and strong, and I don't even know. It's ridiculous. If we would just stop trying to follow along with what the norm is in this world, we would realize that we would be at peace with ourselves and have joy in our hearts, because we weren't meant to be a slave to the ways of this world. Our minds are to be transformed and renewed by the Spirit that is in us. We are a spirit in a body, not a body in a spirit. If that makes sense. We are a spirit with a body. And we need to feed that spirit, and feeding that spirit all of the junk food or the new diet gags or gigs or whatever, the latest technology, the best diploma, the latest cars so my kids can fit in. I don't even know. The most expensive earbuds. This is important, especially if you have children, daughters and sons of the Most High that have been given us as gifts, blessings. We are bringing up the next generation, and it's time for us to break these inherited freaking curses, break the chains of the mentality and the disease-ridden lifestyle of, for me, alcoholism and abuse. It is time to just drop the bags. Stop carrying on too much to the plane, because it's going to go down, because you're going to call out for God, and you're going to put the oxygen mask on your neighbor or your child before yourself, and you're going to die. So getting the right tools, the right knowledge, people to walk with you, to lift you up, to blatantly say in your face, how's that working for you? Let me give you a suggestion. Constructive criticism sometimes hurts, but it's necessary. As you grow, you're more accepting of those things. Lower your expectations. Don't set forth expectations on family members, friends, and the outside world in general, because most of the time they're just going to fail you anyway. If you're in the Word and you trust the Word and you believe in the Word, then you know that God has plans for you to prosper. He will help you make those crooked paths you've been going down straighter in time, in His time. Necessarily it's not going to be easy, and He wants the paths to stay crooked and curvy for a while, so we learn the lessons that we need to learn, because sometimes I need to be God-smacked in the face with reality going, that crook in that road is there for you to stop and pause and be still and know that I'm God, and you tried to have me take the day off today, and you tried to clock in, and I don't need you, Laura. So turn the GPS on, get in the Word, and hold on. And you don't even need to hold on to the wheel. Let go of the wheel, sister. I don't know who this is for. I don't know if anyone needed to hear it, but uh, we're all in this together. And we can either be all drawing swords at each other and fighting at Walmart, or we can stay in our cars and get the grocery pickup and give the young man who brought the groceries to me the other day a tip because he was nice and generous and he let me get into the bags when I needed to get something out without huffing and puffing. He was so nice and patient with me. We just got to be true to ourselves, treat others the way we want to be treated, with love and patience and kindness and understanding. Take yourself out of yourself and look down as like God, our maker, and go like, realize that the person in the car in front of you may have just gotten a diagnosis for cancer, or maybe the one that just cut you off had to cut you off because his wife is in labor, or maybe his son has been in a bad car accident and is on his way to the hospital, didn't mean to cut you off, was thinking about getting to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. You just never know where people are in their lives. You're not walking in their shoes, but you can share some shoes. They may not fit exactly. You can walk alongside them. You can be someone that holds space for other people when they're ready to talk. Be ready to listen. Listening is an important part of learning. So for that, I'm going to tell you to be true to yourself. God loves you. Be authentic and don't be afraid to look in the mirror.